Hi, I'm Tony Fleming, and this is Fleming's Ultimate Garage. Hey everybody, thanks for joining us on today's video. You know, in the world of classic cars, the 914 has really moved up quickly. It's becoming more and more popular. More importantly, when you're buying a classic car, you need to research a little bit. For instance, like cars that are first-year cars tend to sometimes be a little more valuable, and definitely last-year production cars are the most desirable. In this case here, that's what we have here. So we not only have a collectible 914, we have a last year edition of it, as well as the injected version. So you're getting a lot more power and things like that. And when we get inside the car, you will be so surprised at how much room is in here if you've never really sat in one. And one of the things I do love so much about it is that they're actually very easy to convert into maybe something as a summertime car. This right here actually goes right in the back. It has a slot and everything inside the car for it. And it goes from being just a regular car to a really cool Targa top convertible. Just flip these up here and boom, and look how different that is now. And you get some of the safety features too. So you're getting all of this open like a convertible, but you're getting a built-in roll bar, which makes it really, really nice. All right, so cool. Let's check out something here. All right, so they call this signal yellow. All right, come on up here. We just had this car clear coated and then wet sanded. A little hard to see the everything in these lighter colored cars like white cars and bright yellow cars. But it's really shiny paint from the video, you can see that. The glass is really good. Now here's a couple cool things that I want you to see, so come on up here for a second. What we have is, believe it or not, people say, well, the 914 is not really a sports car. Well, unless you've driven one, you're just listening to hearsay, because the truth is these things drive really well. Let me talk about why. First off, they're super light. They weigh in the around the 2,000 pound mark, okay? They don't need a lot of power, so they have great corner speed. Secondly, four-wheel disc brakes. Not every car has four-wheel disc brakes, certainly not in the 70s, that's for sure. Mostly Porsches came only with four-wheel disc brakes, but I mean, if you were looking at other sports cars, a lot of them have rear drum brakes. This does not, it's four-wheel disc brakes. Now, throw in four-wheel fully independent suspension. Why is that important? Because as you're going around a corner, we want all the wheels as flat as possible. We don't want the car to have to rotate around and try to get a live axle to sit properly. This does that as well. Throw in a nice set of Goodyear Eagles, all right, with the factory alloy wheels. It looks really period correct and really pretty cool. And then when you throw in some functionality to the car, you're getting a sports car that you can take away on a long trip as well. Take the top off if you want, leave the top on. It's a multifunctional car you could take to the track that day, for maybe like a vintage track day, or go antiquing. I love to go antiquing. As you can clearly see, I'm an old guy, so I like to do a lot of antiquing, and I've never antiqued, I'm just kidding. You know, maybe for a carburetor or something I've antiqued, but other than that, no. All right, so like check this out here. I wanted to take this apart a little bit so you could see. This is really cool, like check this out. This is an important part of the car when you're buying a classic car to look at in general. First off, how does this look in here? These cars, these old cars are known to be rusty, so you gotta be careful. But look at, this is really cool, check this out. The original seam sealer is still in here, and look how nice this car was. This car probably was silver originally, all right? But it's got a full-size spare in it with an original wheel. Look how nice the wiring is, the headlight actuators, the horns are in place and they work. This makes for really a cool kind of car. And it's, again, it's super functional. One other reason these things handle so well is because in here, the engine is mounted midship. So you get some storage here, you get storage up front, and then you get this here. But look how low down in the chassis it is. Because it's a flat engine, meaning the horizontally opposed four-cylinder, it's nice and flat, it's low in the body, and as we look underneath the car, it's completely flat there too, keeping the air from being too disturbed and lifting the car at high speeds, right? That's why these cars have great corner speed. They may not have huge 0 to 60 times, but what they do have that other cars don't have is huge corner speeds. And what that means for you is if you went to like a vintage track day and you're up against Corvettes and things like that, those cars that weigh, say, 1,500 pounds more than this car have to brake much earlier and much harder than you do, otherwise they slide off the track and you at that great corner speed, and that's where you make up your time. That's why these things are so much fun. And plus they're not a gazillion bucks. Parts are super easy to get. They're not expensive to fix. There's great cars here. This is all nicely detailed in here. Everything is easy to get to, okay? From air filters to starter motors to the batteries right there. And then of course underneath, all the plugs and all that stuff is super easy to get to as well. And then I love this piece right here. It's such a great styling piece, the way it says Porsche. It's blacked out, got the glass in there. It's just so airy and roomy to see everything inside. Okay, let's check out the inside. All right, listen, you hear that annoying sound? That's actually a really good sound. I'm gonna tell you why that's a good sound, because that's the key and buzzer. And 25 and 30 years later, 9 times out of 10, the key and buzzers don't work. That gives you a good indication of the restoration of a car or the original quality of the car, and lets you know that somebody had some attention to detail. When this car was redone, they set the odometer back here to 0, and it's showing 416 miles on it. So I'm not really sure how many are on it, but it does have new paint. They said the engine was rebuilt. We got some receipts and things like that, new carpet, new upholstery. The Targa top was redone. So it's got some pretty cool stuff. But having said all that, the cockpit itself is really, really nice. So I don't know whether you go all black mattes and leave this tan or whatever, but you can leave the tan ones, or we can just convert them to black, whatever you like, and that way you got a whole black interior. This has a nice upgraded Sony sound system, infinity speakers, place for your iPod, CD, satellite, things like that. So you can throw the top off, put some tunes on, go for a drive. It's got an awesome wheel here. I want to show you something that's really cool. Like, most cars are pretty heavy, and they require power steering and things like that. This doesn't, but I just want to show you how easy this car is to turn the wheel. It's just so light in the front, and that's what makes these cars so fast and in great handling. 150 mile an hour speedometer, 7,000 RPM tach. Even the warning lights on the dash still work correctly. It's got oil temperature, fuel gauge, normal heat and froster, stuff like that. It's got like the hazard lights still work. Like, all the little stuff on the car really works nicely. But what I wanted to tell you was, look how much room is in here, dude. I'm 6'1". I have enough room to kind of, if I wanted to drive like this, I could drive like this, just hang out. But of course, that'd be a little weird at first. How you doing? Anyway, I don't know. These cars are cool. So how about I fire it up for you? And with the fuel injection, it's nice. You don't have to pump the gas. Just hit the key, and bam. How you doing? So listen, if you get a little bit of lip at the track, the Corvette guy next to you, hey, what are you going to do with that thing? Don't say anything. Just wait till the corner comes up, wait for him to blow into the weeds, into the gravel, and then the air fence, and you just carve yourself right on out the corner. All right, we talked about a lot of great features on this car. First off, quick and nimble, light, cool colors, very original, with the original alloys, nice set of tires on it, interior's nicely restored, stack of receipts. The car runs and drives really, really nice. It's just a cool, cool car to own, especially as a classic car too, because going down the road, these cars still get a lot of thumbs up, a lot of waves. People really love them, and you don't really see a whole lot of them. And the ones that are out there have been all rusty and ugly, and this one is far from that. It's really, really great shape. I think you'd have a lot of time. Anyway, call us. Last year, built 76 Porsche 914 Targa, right? Makes it a little more collectible. Call us 301-816-1000, and we'll tell you all about it.